Hey, we're back and we're going to talk about keyword research with site-wide comparables. Now, this is one of my absolute favorite pieces of Link Emperor because I honestly think that we've got a really great keyword research tool here, and it's nothing that you can get just by going to the Google keyword tool or just by going to some of the other keyword research tools out there, because we're actually assembling a couple different places and sources for getting these keywords, and they all come in automatically. The other cool thing about this is that it's backwards from your average keyword research process. So normally people go into the keyword research tool and they type in a couple keywords related to what they think they want. They think they want to sell bonsai trees, but maybe they don't know that much about the bonsai tree market. So you just kind of throw in, the keyword bonsai trees and some other things and see what kind of suggestions pop up. Well, that's a little bit of a pain, especially if you don't really know what kind of keywords you're working with, or you don't know much about the niche, which is often what happens when you're making a new website. So we have a backwards process, which is you find websites that are already basically doing and selling what you want to do, and then you throw those sites in, and we find the keywords that they're ranking for and the keywords that Google Keyword Tool thinks they're more related to or compatible with. And we call those sites comparables, comparable websites, comparable to your own website. So here's what I did. Basically, there's a little bit of a science to it also, because, for instance, you don't want to put Amazon.com in there, obviously. Amazon.com has a million, literally millions of different products and different categories and things like that. So the keyword research that you would pull in from that would just be completely meaningless, because you would start pulling in keywords from every different genre and every different type of product. So what you want to do is you want to go out there and find some comparables that are going to be a little bit more tightly themed, or like niche websites. You want to find a site that's as close to the niche that you're going after as possible. And if you have a larger site that has multiple niches contained, then you might want to find multiple comparables for each category that you have, because you don't want to pull in too many unrelated keywords. What you want to do is find as many keywords as you can that are really tightly niched around what you're looking for, obviously. So if you're looking for bonsai trees, what I like to do is go after a commercial type of website, because commercial sites are really designed to go after keywords a lot of the time. Like Wikipedia tends to rank for a ton of things, but Wikipedia is not super useful. For one thing, I'm sorry, I should have mentioned before, this is actually the site-wide comparables tab. We talked before a little bit about Lander comparables, which are on a page-by-page basis, but this is a site-wide comparables area. So you're only going to want to pull in sites where the entire site is themed. So Wikipedia would be terrible. So would Amazon.com. So would any of those big ones that have multiple different niches in there and things like that. But here, if you search for something like Buy Bonsai Tree, you're going to find little niche stores that are just trying to sell exactly like how you are. So we've got thebonsaitree.com, we've got buybonsai.com, we've got Brussels Bonsai, we've got Bonsai Boy. There's 4 right there. That would probably all be pretty great. This is thebonsaitree.com. This looks extremely niche. Buybonsai.com, another extremely niche, extremely ugly website, but still it's very niche, and I'm sure it's good for keyword research. This looks like it's all about bonsai. You've got indoor, outdoor bonsai. Bonsai Boy of New York. This is also all about bonsai. So these are great sites because they have well-defined categories, and they're very themed. They have there's a lot of little niche products in here and things like that. So these are going to be really the best types of sites to throw into a site-wide comparable. So what you do is you go in here and you add in new comparables. So make sure now, don't just type in what it is. You want to actually copy and paste the site in there so that you get exactly what it is, whether it's www or non-www. It's better to just go straight up to the URL bar, copy and paste, and throw it in there. Now, we've already got 3 of these in here, so I'm not going to bother with adding any more. I added these in ahead of time, and that's because it takes a couple minutes or a little bit longer sometimes in order for Link Emperor to go out there and fetch all of the keyword research. So beforehand I threw in just 3 sites, and I think all of those are ones that, see, I did that site before, or I did that search before, and I threw some of those in there. So I think that all of those were from that original search. I just went right up there, pulled the top couple, and threw them into the comparables. Now, notice you can add up to 10 comparables per campaign, but I don't think that that's necessary, and it's a lot of the times a little bit overboard. It depends on the campaign. Now, if you're in a real niche where there's a shortage of keywords, then you want to add more, because then you're kind of hunting around and trying to find more keywords than you're able to find necessarily. But right now, for something like this, it's pretty cool to just throw in 3 of them, and you'll get a nice list, and it'll come back faster. So now we're going to hop over to the Keyword Ideas tab, and as you can see, we've got a long list of keywords, and they're all clickable. So for instance, if I click on bonsai trees, you can see that it comes out into an actual, we call these keyword trees. We're talking about bonsai trees too, so there's a lot of trees going on, but this is keyword trees here. So you click on this, and it folds out, and it shows you, here's basically how it's broken down. Everything that sits underneath bonsai trees has the word bonsai and the word tree in it somewhere. So you've got bonsai tree supplies, bonsai tree tools, etc. Now if you click on bonsai tree types, you've got a total of 838 search volume as a sum of the keywords underneath here, which all have these 3 words in them: bonsai tree and types. Types of bonsai trees, types of bonsai tree. See, why this is great is because you don't get this in the Google keyword tool. They just throw all the keywords in there in some completely random fashion, and you have to try and figure out how to sort them yourself. And that, honestly, I think is a real pain. It took us a little bit of thinking and a little bit of serious coding to be able to figure out a method here where we can break them down into somewhat logical groups. But we think that this is pretty awesome, because now, for one thing, you can easily come up with articles this way. If you're thinking about trying to figure out, like a list of 10 articles that you can write on various related keywords, this would be a perfect article. Bonsai tree types, something like that. The types of bonsai, like you even have like a title here. You got types of bonsai trees, like 10 types of bonsai trees. That's an article title. And then you can throw all of these keywords in there and probably rank for all of them, because it's extremely tightly themed just with that one article. So boom, article, done. Like the next one, now you can scroll down here and you can see these are a bunch of different types of bonsai trees. They're somewhat unrelated, but you can learn a lot about bonsai trees by looking at that. So now if you go down, you look at, let's see, what's another going on? Bonsai tool. So now you've got a list of different bonsai tool related keywords: bonsai tool sets, bonsai tool kits, whatever. It's pretty ridiculous, and it's just it's a really nice way to go through. And also, if you haven't set up your site with your categories yet, this is a really great research tool for trying to set up what categories you're going to have on your site. So you can go down and you can say, okay, bonsai tools is going to be a category, bonsai trees is going to be a category, maybe you're going to have indoor and outdoor trees, and then you can go down and just figure out, which ones make sense for categories based on how much is going. See, this is a misspelling. It's bonsai tree with a Z instead of an S, so it gives you that kind of stuff too. So, I know nothing about orchid pots. I don't even know what an orchid pot is, but now I know this would make probably a fairly good article because they're all related. And the other great thing about this is, like, with the keyword tool, the Google version, you might find orchid pots and orchid pot, but you might not necessarily find orchid pots ceramic, because it's a little bit weird and the words are mixed up, and so things like that don't always show up in the keyword tool, and it can be frustrating. But with the way that this keyword tool works, it finds a lot more of those variations and different types of rearranged keywords, so your link building becomes a lot more diversified that way. So if I wanted to have an article about that, I would throw all these keywords in there and it would be awesome. Now, the other thing that's really cool is the search bar. So say you want to just have everything that has the word tree in it. Boom, you just knocked out half the list, and now you know everything that's related to tree. Or if you want everything that has the word tool in it, well, there's only one. So you found that right there, and you've got, you can expand that out. So it's pretty awesome. I'm really impressed with the keyword research that this thing can do, and it's only getting better. There's a lot of different things that we're thinking about coming out with in the future. Finally, yeah, I mean, you can use this before you start your website, or you can do it after you've already got a website and you're trying to add in new keywords to your landers. And it's just a great way to grow your site too, because if you're thinking, okay, my site's been a little bit static lately, I need to add a few keywords, let me go into my keyword ideas tab, which, by the way, none of these count towards your keywords until you assign them to a lander. So it's free to just have as many keyword ideas as you want in here, and then once you decide, okay, I like the keyword bonsai tool, I think that I'm going to create an article about that and toss like 5 of these in there and start link building to those, you just add in a lander for whatever that article is, and then you attach a couple of these keywords in there, and you're all good. Another thing you can do that I forgot to mention is you can remove keywords if you want to. So if you need to click on anything and just remove it, you see this little remove selected button pops up, and it's all good. So, all right, I hope that explains the keyword ideas tab and the keyword research. So if you have any questions, let me know at info@linkemperor.com. Thanks.